The engine swapping is one of the most popular but expensive way to improve the performance of your vehicle. It might sound easy to some, but truth be told, it's a complex, time-consuming and a tedious job. Not to mention the enormous amount of skills required to put everything together and to keep everything working smoothly. Most of the time, it's the money that prevents people from creating something truly magnificent. But what will happen if you let loose a skilled mechanic with an unlimited budget? Following are the perfect examples of such scenarios. Number 1. Lamborghini V12 powered Fiat 500. If you are planning to do a Lamborghini V12 swap, the Fiat 500 would be the last thing that you will consider to do the swap on. The engine itself will require 3/4 of the interior space. Only a madman with some mad skills would do such thing. Well then, Mr. Gianfranco is one such guy. He operates a family-owned car restoration business called OEMMEDI Meccanica, hope I pronounced it right, in southern Rome in Italy. So, he's a pretty resourceful person for a project like this. Mr. Gianfranco took the 6.2-liter V12 engine and the entire powertrain from a salvaged Lamborghini Murcielago. Even the engine control unit is from the same car. Since it is impossible to fit the engine and the entire powertrain into a tiny Fiat, Mr. Gianfranco had to completely rework the chassis and the body. So there is not much left of what Fiat originally produced. With the V12 inside it, this 4-wheel drive Fiat produces 580 brake horsepower and 490 Nm of torque. Number 2. BMW V10 powered Volvo 242. The Volvos don't have the emotional appeal of the Italian or the German cars. They are always about safety and functionality. The boxy design language of their cars in the past is far from eye-pleasing. But the one thing that Volvos had over its German and Italian counterparts was the tank-like build quality. Jasper Andersen from Scandinavia decided to make good use of that quality by stuffing it with some German power. He used the screaming 5-liter V10 from the E60 M5, making 500 brake horsepower and 490 Nm of torque. The engine is mated to a BMW E39 6-speed G-Truck transmission, which is linked to a stronger Volvo rear axle. The V10 fits perfectly inside the engine bay of the 242. To deal with the extra weight and power, the entire suspension setup has been revised with Bilstein dampers at the front and custom-built rear suspension turrets which are mated to gas coilovers. Number 3. The Hellcat Prius. The Toyota Prius is a pretty boring car. It's built for those environmentally conscious people who wants to burn as little fuel as possible. But the New York-based American racing headers figured that they can make the Prius a bit more interesting by swapping a Hellcat engine in it. This 1000 horsepower V8 has transformed the environmentally conscious hybrid to a drag racing monster. The engine is mated to a 6-speed manual gearbox. Even though it looks like a Prius, the only thing remains stock is the body. Everything underneath it has undergone major transformation. According to the builder, the car is capable of 9 seconds in the quarter mile, but with a little more tuning, that could get down to 8 seconds. Number 4. 2JZ Swapped Rolls-Royce. The name Rolls-Royce is synonymous with luxury. Many have tried to match the class and opulence of this Goodwin auto manufacturer. But unfortunately, no one has come close to matching the Rolls-Royce's world-class reputation as the most luxury-oriented car maker out there. That's the same reason why Mr. Yajima's son bought his Phantom and drive the heck out of it by putting on 190,000 kilometers or 120,000 miles before the engine failed. But instead of giving his car to an authorized dealer for replacing the engine, he took things into his own hands and stuffed it with the twin-charged 2JZ, which makes 900 brake horsepower. The engine is mated to a very unusual Toyota Aristo 4-speed automatic transmission. There is nothing on the outside of the car that suggests it's a 2JZ swap. And on the inside, it's the same story, except for a couple of really out-of-place gauges and the auto shift knob on the center console.
Truck.
Oh yeah.
Truck.
Wow.
Number 5. Raceboard engine swapped Charger. At least some of you watching this video might have heard about the company called Speedcore. They are known for their carbon fiber parts and most recently for making some badass cars like Evolution Charger, Carbon Fiber Demon, etc. But none of those cars even come close to the sheer ferocity of this raceboard engine swapped 70s Charger. Yes, this car don't have that amazing full carbon fiber bodywork of the recent builds. But the interesting part about this car is under the hood. It has a 9-liter twin-turbo V8 made by Mercury Marine. The engine produces 1650 brake horsepower. But all that power will cost you a hefty sum, $700,000 to be exact. Number 6. Camry powered Lexus LFA. Why? Why would anyone do that? That was the first question came into my mind when I first heard about this car. Apparently, the owner of this car, Mr. Yoichi Imamura, one of the best pro drifters from Japan, had a very good reason for that. According to him, the stock V10 engine don't have enough torque to become his primary drift car. So, he swapped it with the Camry engine, not an ordinary one, but with the NASCAR Camry V8. But unfortunately, the build was a failure due to the outrageous cost and the complexity of the build. Number 7. Subaru BRZ with Synergy V8. The BRZ is one of the best sports car ever came out of Japan. The only thing it had against it was the power. A lot of people felt that the 200 brake horsepower figure wasn't a match to its handling capabilities. So like every other great sports car came before it, the BRZ became a great platform for tuning and engine swap projects. But unlike the other BRZ engine swaps, which uses LS and Ferrari V8s, this car uses a small 2.4-liter V8 made by a company called Synergy. This is a Frankenstein V8 engine made by combining two Kawasaki ZX 12-hour power plants. The engine makes 405 brake horsepower at a sky-high 11,600 RPM. Yes, this car is not as fast as those LS or Ferrari swapped BRZs. But none of those cars screams like this one.